Daily Wire, I think he gets the least views or engagement out of any of them. So he's the biggest loser at Daily Wire. He's ethnically Jewish, but he converted to Christianity. He works for Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire. And a lot of people might say, well, what more do you want? He converted to Christianity. He's not really Jewish. He's Christian now. He doesn't practice the Jewish religion. He practices the Christian religion. Well, what did Andrew Klavan have to say about my interview with Tucker Carlson as a Christian? I'm not making this up. This is not an exaggeration at all. Predictably, he brought up the Holocaust. And specifically about the Holocaust, he said that the Holocaust was worse than the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Record back with another video. I got some more Nick Fuentes clips for you guys today. Nick's live Monday through Friday on Rumble, so I'll link it down below in the description so you guys could check it out. First clip I got for you guys today is Nick talking about a dude named Andrew Klavan who works at the Daily Wire, of course, with Ben Shapiro. He's Israel first, of course, and this guy's a Christian, mind you. This guy is a Christian, and his belief is the Holocaust is equal to Jesus Christ being crucified. And my thing is, it's like Jesus was the Son of God. There's a difference, you know. He was God, you know, to a certain extent. He had God in him. God was God's living through all of us. God was in him. So for him to say that and to be Christian, I think that's a disgrace, dude. Beyond. Nick had similar thoughts, but yeah, I'll let Nick talk and let you guys enjoy it, and everyone have a good one.
Andrew Klavan is one of the lower-ranked hosts at Daily Wire. I think he gets the least views or engagement out of any of them. So he's the biggest loser at Daily Wire. He's ethnically Jewish, but he converted to Christianity. He works for Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire. And a lot of people might say, well, what more do you want? He converted to Christianity. He's not really Jewish. He's Christian now. He doesn't practice the Jewish religion. He practices the Christian religion. Well, what did Andrew Klavan have to say about my interview with Tucker Carlson as a Christian? I'm not making this up. This is not an exaggeration at all. Predictably, he brought up the Holocaust. And specifically about the Holocaust, he said that the Holocaust was worse than the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. That's your Jewish convert to Christianity. He said specifically, he said the Holocaust was the crucifixion in IMAX. So you've got the Son of God nailed to a cross and crucified by man, okay? Mankind killed God for nothing. They conspired, they betrayed him on false charges. They tortured him, and then they executed him publicly in front of his mother in the worst way possible. He is God. And Andrew Klavan says, yeah, but you know what was way worse? The Holocaust. The Holocaust was like that times 1,000,000. That's a Christian? How are you a Christian? How are you meaningfully a Christian? He said the Holocaust was the crucifixion in IMAX. He said this had to happen to show people who didn't get the message the first time when Christ was crucified that this is how evil mankind really is. So I don't think it's an understatement to say that the Holocaust is literally their religion. And by they, I don't mean religious Jews, I mean Jews. I mean ethnic Jews. And that is such a thing. That is ethnic, it's heritage. It proceeds from the mother. If your mom's Jewish, you're Jewish. Like we're talking, it's genetic. That's how they identify. If you want to immigrate to Israel, you need to get a DNA test that proves you're ethnically Jewish. It's in your DNA. So we're not talking about a religion. We're not talking about Zionism, an ideology. because Klavan converted to Christianity, but he still can't let that go. He still can't let it go. His ethnic pride, because that's really what this is. It's a form of ethnic narcissism. It blinds him. Because what I would say as a Catholic about the crucifixion is that we all killed Jesus. The Jews accused him, the Romans carried it out, and this was a handshake between God's chosen, the Israelites, the Hebrews, and the nations, the Goyim, the nations, all the other tribes of the world. It was a handshake between them both to kill God. And Jesus's blood is on all of our hands in that sense. We're all guilty of that. That's what I would say as a Christian. Then this is the ultimate statement, which is that all of our sins put Christ on the cross, and all of the nations literally put Christ on the cross. And the message is that in order to observe Christ's sacrifice, that is why we must truly love everyone like we love ourselves. But for Klavan, his ethnic grievance is bigger. What happened to the Ashkenazim Jews in the 1940s, to him is worse than killing God. That's ethnic narcissism. That's ethnic pride. That's ethnic supremacy. That is somebody who is a racial idolater, which is the irony. They accuse us of being the white supremacists or the racist race idolaters. There's nobody that's a bigger race idolater than them. He says our genocide was the crucifixion of God in IMAX. What a statement. How could any Christian be okay with that? And in some ways, I understand what he's getting at. And maybe you could say that in a different way, but the way he said it proves what this guy's really about. That was his reaction.
No, it did. It proved who he really is, you know. I mean, dude, you don't just say that. Like he said in IMAX, it's like, dude, Jesus, it's more important, bro. Like I said, the Holocaust is up for air, you know, for me. I believe certain things that are that history has said, and then I believe things that Nick and that he claims is real about the Holocaust. But yeah, anything to compare it to Jesus, I think is the stupidest thing ever. Okay, because like I said, Jesus was the Son of God. We, like Nick said, his blood is on our hands. You know, literally, bro. We killed the Son of God. You know, our people killed him. You know, humans, the human race killed Jesus. You know, why would they do that? They lied, they persecuted him, they got him on false charges, you know, and they crucified him. So for this guy, and for him to be Christian, and for him to say something like this is beyond ridiculous, dude. But that just goes to show he's another Ben Shapiro, dude. I mean, he works at the Daily Wire, you know, so I mean, you know where that's gonna get him. Alright, last clip I got for you guys is Nick talking about if Jews don't like our vision for America first, they can go home to Israel. I quote, they worried because they know when people hear this message, they're going to like it. And it's true, you know. A lot of people, I've noticed ever since Nick's been talking about Israel, you know, and about we need to be America first, you know. A lot of people are falling for it, and they're going towards Nick, you know. They're not going towards the whole Israel thing, because for, like I said, millennials back then, you know, 80s kids, 90s, I think Gen X, all of them, they were put on, we gotta do this for Israel, be Israel this, Israel that. And my generation, Gen Z, is like, nah, we're not cool with Israel like that. You know, why are we sending money here? Why are we sending money there? Why our leaders going to visit them all the time? You know, stuff like that. So a lot of people are finding this stuff out, you know, and then we're not messing with Israel. You know, we don't like Israel. We want nothing to do with them. You know, I mean, I wish them well, but that's about it. You know, that's it. But even that saying, I wish them well, you know, like, even though they've fucked us and did 9/11, they sent planes into our stuff, you know. So, I mean, yeah, it's a big rabbit hole, but I'm gonna let Nick talk, and yeah, you guys enjoy it.
And the thing about Josh Hammer, at the end of the day, he is not an American. No, Josh, you're not American. There's nothing American about you. You don't fucking look American. You don't sound American. Your wife's not American. You're not American. And you're not American, maybe most importantly, because you will never put America first. As long as you are loyal to Israel in any way, as long as you are advocating for America to give its money to Israel, to send its people to die for Israel, you are not loyal to America. You can never say America first. You will never be America first, and you will never be an American. So if you believe that Israel is the foundation of Western civilization, if you believe the Hebrew Bible matters so much, if you have such a problem with Americans like me and Tucker Carlson, then why don't you go to Israel? Please do us all a big favor. Take your genius, take your smarts, you guys are so fucking brilliant. Never miss an opportunity to remind everybody how great you are, how brilliant you are, how awesome you are. We owe you everything. It'll be our loss. Why don't you and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and Laura Loomer, you unlikable, despicable pieces of shit, why don't you get the fuck out of America and go to Israel, which we all know you love so much? Do us all a favor. Otherwise, you better get on board, because whether you like it or not, this country is done. We are done with the Jewish oligarchy. We are done with the slavish surrender to Israel, the wars, the foreign aid, the policing of anti-Semitism, the Holocaust religion and propaganda. You know it. I know it. The young people in this country, the next generation, God bless them, on the left and the right, they know that you are full of shit. They're finished with the lies, with the humiliation rituals, insulting our intelligence, the derision and the contempt that you hold us in. Everyone knows it. And you know as well as anybody that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, there's only going to be more Nick Fuenteses. There's only going to be more Groypers. Your vice president, J.D. Vance, even he knows he has to pander to us. Even he at Turning Point USA had to pander to us and answer questions about Palantir and Miriam Adelson and whether Trump obeys Israel, because that's the way this country is going. So, Josh Hammer, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Loomer, you better get the fuck on board with America and Americans and our new vision, which is America first. And if you don't like it, leave. If you don't like it, you can go home. Fortunately, you have spent decades murdering and killing and massacring and raping to make an oasis for yourself in the desert. You can go there. But what I like about my interview with Tucker Carlson is this proves we don't actually need their permission. They can squeal and they can scream like they are. Hammer and Klavan, all of these, they are despicable. The way they sound. You hear Mark Levin? He can barely contain himself. He's shaking with anger. Nick Fuentes, he's like Adolf Hitler. These are the most unlikable people that you can imagine. On a personal level, they're just despicable. And what Tucker demonstrated on Monday is that you don't need to listen to these people. Tune them out. Turn them off. Take the volume dial and turn it all the way down. We're not listening anymore. We don't care. Your book about Western civilization and Israel, we don't care. We're not reading it. You're bitching, you're whining, you're squealing about anti-Semitism. Nobody's listening anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. We've tuned you out. We know what you are. You don't care about us. You don't care about this country. You don't respect this place. You don't respect our ancestors, and you don't even worship our God. So why would we listen to you for one more second? We don't need your permission to have these conversations. We don't need your permission to talk to each other. We don't need your permission to put America first. And They're worried because they know that when people hear this message, they're going to like it. That's why they're squealing. That's why they're talking about no platforming and gatekeeping and censorship. It's not because the message is so horrible and hateful. It's because they know the message is so powerful and compelling. Everyone is going to believe it. Everyone is going to go along with it because it's the truth, because it's reality.
It's facts, you know. It's powerful when they just say that it's facts, and it's because it's reality, you know. It just is, you know. People are waking up, you know. Nick has woken up a lot of people, you know, and it's only gonna get more, you know. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, they had Vice President J.D. Vance was at a Turning Point event yesterday, and yeah, they were asking him hard-hitting questions, you know. And that's one thing I'll give J.D. Even though I don't like how he's Israel first, they've been grooming him. He knows how to take hard questions, and he knows how to answer and give like both sides like their due justice. You know, he knows how to, like, if the questions about Israel, you know, why is Israel doing this? Because a couple of questions about Israel got asked yesterday about like, hey, why are we sending money here to Israel? He answered them good that it makes you realize like someone won't believe it, like what Nick's trying to say, right? They're not gonna believe it. But I mean, the real ones, like I said, the groypers, we know, like, we got a raised eyebrow, like, all right, fool, like, you know, we don't believe that, you know, wink wink. We know you're lying, you know. Like I said, him, Rubio, Trump, I mean, they're all Israel first, you know, unfortunately. And this is people that I like, and I wrote for, you know, I voted for Trump. I backed them up, you know, and this is in return they sold us out for Israel, you know. It's unfortunate, but that's why we as the people got to unite and, like I said, push America first and just ride with Nick. You know, we gotta protect Nick at all costs. He's the voice for us right now. He's the voice for millions of people for us right now. I'm not saying that we don't have a voice, but he's the mainstream. He's like our spokesperson. You know, he's the one going out there and fighting for us. You know, so we gotta appreciate this dude as long as he's here. And yeah, man, those are my thoughts. But if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below. Like I said, it helps me out, helps the channel out. And yeah, Nick's live Monday through Friday on Rumble. I will link it down below. And yeah, everyone have a good one. And this is P Record out.